Blind Faith Live, real people, real miracles. I'm Philip Keller. Complete new episodes every Tuesday in this archived Issam's Insight. It's logical. We want to have a better connection to God, build that 8-lane highway connection to God. We just have to become more Christ-like. What does that mean? We talked about it. Being more loving and forgiving and patient and kind and accepting. All those attributes of love. The more Christ-like we become, the more powerful our prayers, our connection. So let's break it down. All those different attributes of love. Which one do you think is the most difficult? It's not the one I thought it was. I thought it was acceptance of everything in our lives, good, bad, and ugly. Nope. Here's Dr. Issam Nemeh.
Anybody that can achieve what you have, the level that you have, are they going to get the same results when it comes to prayer? Does anything change than the results that you get with your prayer?
If they reach the same level of awareness,
yeah,
they will achieve the same results.
Everything's the same then?
Yes, it's a law. And once you surrender yourself, then you revert back to your original being, which is the spiritual being. And
you say the original as in before being born? Or are you saying
before being born, because we are a spirit from God.
Okay.
Breath from His breath, So revert back to that, and that reality is higher than the physical. That's the reality that is reflected in here, actually. Mm-hmm. And the different laws apply. So that's why, whatever you pray for will start happening. That's why, the healings happen. But yes, it depends on the state of mind, and that's what I keep on talking about. When we have the right awareness, the right focus, then automatically this connects us to that Christ reality, which is supernatural, and things materialize.
This is an incredible lesson. I go back to, we obviously have a lot of people in the world talking the talk. We obviously have a ton of religious leaders. We have a lot of people who say they're religious leaders, and yet we're not hearing these stories very many places. So there's a lot of talking the talk without walking the walk in some way, shape, or form. Or is it? Is it? I think this is, and I do think this is part of it, because I don't know how many people truly understand acceptance. And that would you call that the biggest hurdle? Acceptance of everything in your life being a blessing from God?
All of those things, acceptance, tolerance, and all of that, is a result of the true love that you have.
They're all attributes of love.
So when you have true love, automatically you are going to be that way. Accepting and surrendering and forgiving.
Trusting. Surrendering.
Yes.
How many others? Patient. It means you're patient.
Yeah, and it comes as a result of that higher knowledge, and higher knowledge endows us with that peace. And that peace entails all of those other attributes.
Do you think any one of them is tougher than another?
Patience.
Patience
is the toughest.
Talk about that, because it's funny when people say, "Please, God, give me patience." They don't understand that God's going to make them wait longer for stuff.
Patience is almost equal to love in a sense. Here, you could forgive, and that's it. You forgave, and you move continue. On. You move on.
Right.
But when can you be patient? When you have somebody right in front of you, nonstop, committing, mistakes and stuff like this, and you continuously. Or patiently, you keep on praying for them until they reach the level, or they experience the healing. And so patience is really synonymous to love.
That's certainly, and do you think it's true with most? I know everyone talks about your patience. It's like,
if I were not patient, I would not endure the type of work I do.
Yeah.
It takes so much out of you.
It's every day.
Every day.
It's every day. Sometimes the same people, sometimes different people, but it's always every day.
Patience. Patience is the sign, the physical sign of your feeling of love. Let's put it this way.
Do you think that's, excuse me phrasing it this way, do you think that is perhaps the biggest reason why people love you the way they do, and Kathy? Is because is that the extra something in a human being that we feel without necessarily naming it?
Because it is thought, the closest example would be your parent. Because no matter how bad you are, your parent will always love you and forgive you. So the same thing applies. If you are the same way with everybody around you, automatically it will pull them towards you because they can trust you. They deep side know that you love them and you will always forgive them. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. Well said.
Yeah.
It is. That's that you just gave me a new.
And I always forgive. I will always do. I always forget. And I think that's a gift from God,
He does. He gives. I've seen.
He preserves us, I forget and I pray, And then we have a higher awareness in Christ. When you have that type of knowledge, automatically, those things become part of your routine way of looking at your daily life. There is no effort, really.
When someone says to you, I'm sorry, I just can't forgive my brother because he did X and it's just unforgivable.
It hurts me a lot.
Yeah.
I feel so sad for them.
The door slams.
Yeah.
And there is a way to forgive.
Always.
Yeah.
Always you can find an excuse for somebody. And the most effective excuse that I offer my patients when they tell me that stuff, is they don't have your knowledge, Lack of knowledge.
The capacity, once again.
Yes, yeah. Based upon lack of knowledge. So they don't understand what this life is all about. If they did, automatically they would forgive everybody. Because here you look at the influences that this world has on everyone and the pressures that we are subjected to. And you look at your understanding of things. And it makes you feel sad for the ones that are bad to you, actually. There's always an excuse for everyone. Always. We can find always a reason, for their faults or faults.
Yeah, Christ's words from the cross, right? They don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They don't know what they're doing. And he meant that literally. They don't know what they're doing.
And here, the first thing that we do, we twist things around when it comes to even us being good, let's say. But we twist it in such a way, we focus on our ego. They sinned against me, I'm hurt, a bunch of nonsense when it comes to me as a Christian. Endowed with the mind of Christ, I look at it always the same way. Poor people. Mm-hmm. Because if they had our knowledge, they will never commit any or behave in a bad way towards others. You see?
Yeah.
And always that voice deep inside. Even at the the way I experience it every day. Sometimes patients come in and they are so nasty to me, disrespectful and bad words, attacks,
Makes you wonder why they come in.
It makes me wonder, but it repeats itself over and over with everyone like that. I feel a blessing when this happens. I mean, yesterday...
That you can endure that and be okay.
Yeah, I feel the blessing. God protects us against even thoughts like this, being hurt or rightfully being angry, let's say. Mm-hmm. Because you could rightfully be angry. Jesus got angry at the exchanges, mm-hmm. Money changes in the temple, Yeah. But, we are protected.
I wonder, too, when people do that to you, I wonder if it isn't more of a buffer. I don't want to get my hopes up. So if I kind of, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of the psychology of just coming in. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I came in, you wanted to kick me out because I made everything a joke, and I did. But I know that was a buffer. I know that
Yes,
was
so
a
suffering.
self-defense mechanism.
Yes.
So I didn't get my hopes up, of something
Yeah,
happening.
and I understand those things.
Right.
And every one of us will understand those things.
And we should all be understanding those things about everything.
We forgive everybody.
Yeah.
And every time you forgive, your knowledge deepens and your connectedness deepens, gets stronger.
The point I want to make in this episode is that as we get better and deeper at all these different aspects, whether it's acceptance and forgiveness and patience, that people will notice a shift, won't they? They'll notice a shift in their world, in priorities, in their prayers, in their connection with Jesus, in the power that they have, that God works through them. It's a law, isn't it? Once again, it goes back to
it shows on you.
Yeah.
Even your countenance changes.
Yeah.
And
how others look at you, and so many things change.
And people get attracted actually to you,
or repelled.
or repelled for evil. The
darkness. Yeah.
But even the darkness, because in every one there is the light of God anyway.
There's a certain respect in there, isn't there?
At least you attract that.
There's a certain respect in there.
Always you can find a way. I had cases where it was so nasty, even the saintly ones would react. Mm-hmm. But here, when those things happen, automatically how God inspires me to do, I focus on that flame that is inside of them, that spirit that is from God. And I start addressing it. Through my prayer, I fortify that. So I bring it more to light. And time after time, it proved itself to be extremely successful. You could turn your worst enemy into your best friend.
Most people, when they hit that negative thing in the other person, just the hate comes out, the dislike, the whatever. Most people don't go to that prayer. That is so strong, and I know that's in you so strongly, and it's a great lesson for all of us. That if you turn that into almost smiling at it,
yes,
and praying in a different way back at that human being, you can have a tremendous amount of influence. You do it all the time. You do it every day.
Yeah.
And if we all did it, you get to actually witness the change right there.
I witness the effects of that.
Yeah. But every one of these attributes, that's why I say talk the talk, walk the walk. Every single human being can have such a huge shift, and a huge shift in the power of their prayers. And you won't even think anymore, all the people that have come to you, I pray and nothing happens. That ends.
Yes, well, the main thing is to put our faith to work. Like you're praying for somebody, you can pray it with words, and those are powerful, but you can place yourself in action. Even when you are praying over a picture of somebody, you can train yourself to put your mind into action. Like my intention is for the healing. The intention could stay as an idea. The whole thing is about making it a verb, the action. I mean, God, before the creation came into being, it was on the mind of God. It was, just an idea, or it was the state of mind that God the Father, let's say, had within himself. Okay? Mm-hmm. But here, when he put it to action, it came into life. It manifested within his Son.
Yeah.
The same thing applies to everything that we do in here. We can sit down and have the faith and pray and pray and pray, but if we don't make that idea work or put it to work, then you will not be experiencing that the laws behind its manifestations. And you can understand the concept in a very good way if we look at ourselves. Let's say I have an idea about moving one of my parts of my body. Mm-hmm. If it stays an idea in my mind, that part won't move. But when I put it in action, then that mind becomes a spirit, and spirit is the one behind the manifestation within matter. The same thing applies to our spiritual life. We can sit down and read and pray and get closer and all of that. That's why no wonder St. Paul talking about the subject, you could have faith that could move mountains and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
If you do not complete it, the love is the mind in action, to tell you the truth. That's what love is. You see? If God the Father just thought about the Son will be in complete darkness. There will not be any movement. But when he puts it in action, it says love in action. That's why, like it says, at the beginning was the Word, but that's not the truth. That's not what was said. At the beginning was the verb, not the word.
Is this a mistranslation?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes, and it was the verb. It's a word in action.
So it's not. So the word is correct. It's just that it was more descriptive of what that word is.
Exactly.
Huh.
As an idea.
Is that Greek or Hebrew? What is that?
Hebrew.
It's Hebrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the beginning was the verb.
Okay.
When God pronounced, when God voiced out, God the Father voiced out that, then, the word within his mind, within his being became a verb, became he said it,
Yeah. Action. It's kind of How to Live in Heaven Part 2 here, because these words mean something. They're not just words. Talk about words. These words don't just mean something. All of these are actions, acceptance. All of the things are action as we go through our day of keeping Jesus in the room. It's really interesting, too, about, you talk about how every day you go through this examination of conscience. If you're doing it right, every part of the day you're going through examination of conscience. And I went through one of these last night where I wanted to kick myself. My ego popped out. And afterwards I kicked myself I'm still kicking myself, where it just was so visible to me now of where it came out. And I just went, what the heck? But part of it is that awareness. At least you get the awareness, and then you get the I'm sorry in there, and then you move on. But
that's how we get purified more and more, in our mind.
Yeah.
It purifies the mind. When I judge my every action,
Yeah.
then towards the end I reach a purity of mind. Because here you start judging yourself even for words that you could say.
Mm-hmm.
That are not said the right way,
I wish I'd have said it that way instead of this way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you start, forming that discipline.
Thank you, Dr. Issam Nemeh, the physician of unshakable faith, on Blind Faith Live. Real people, real miracles. I'm Philip Keller.